Hello guys, it's Mashtec here. Today I want to show you an extraordinary retro gaming console from Powkiddy, the A13. I was looking out for a console that has the potential to give me the closest experience to some real arcade gameplay feeling. So my main criteria for such a device was that it can smoothly emulate all the arcade classics, as well as some retro gaming consoles like the Nintendo and Super Nintendo, SEGA Genesis/Mega-Drive, up to Sony Playstation. All this plus a big screen and full-size arcade joystick and button layout is provided by this device. So can the Powkiddy A13 really take you back to the retro gaming feeling of arcade halls? Let's find out. The first thing that catch my attention when I unwrapped the product box itself was the beautiful art appliques on it, like these kids playing Mario Bros. Or these two boys here stretching before playing soccer. Actually, this attention for detail is very seldom for Chinese packages. Most of them come with plain boxes and just have a product image or some text on it. So I was really impressed to see a box like this. The box includes the user manual with basic information about the button functions and connectors, a 1 meter USB Type-A to USB Type-C charging cable, and the device itself. Let's take a look at the specifications of this console. The Powkiddy A13 got a 10-inch IPS display with decent viewing angles. It's powered by a Rockchip 3128 quad-core with 1.2 GHz per core. As graphical processing unit, it makes use of a ARM Mali 400 MP2. The power for this device comes from a 4000 mAh battery that lasts for about 5 hours of playtime. Let's take a look at the backside of the device and see what connectors it provides us. Here we got a full-size HDMI out port, two full-size USB-A ports to connect controllers for multiplayer gaming, a 3.5mm audio jack, an external microSD card slot for easy access to add further ROMs, a USB-C charging port, and a dedicated on-off button. The front side of the device is clean of any input buttons or connectors. The action buttons are easy to press down but have a defined trigger point, and based on the mechanical layout, they give you a good haptical and acoustical feedback. You find the joystick in a storage box within the device. I like that idea very much because like that you can always keep the parts together. It installs easily by screwing it into the dedicated socket on the left side of the device. It can be moved around easily and the mechanical clicks give you a good feedback to your input. On the top left corner of the device you find the start, select and back button, as well as the volume up and down buttons. Let's power on the A13 and see how long it will take to get into the main menu. So roughly after 11 seconds you're ready to go, what I think is a good value. Handhelds like the RG351 take around 17 seconds to boot into the main menu, so I think this is a good startup time. Now that the device is turned on, let's take a look at the main menu and jump right into the settings. At the first entry you can choose the languages of the menu. The most important languages are present like English, Chinese, Russian, Spain and French, but unfortunately my native language German is not available. At the second entry we can set the display scaler. Here you can choose in between a stretched full screen image, what I prefer, or equal proportion that respects the original aspect ratio of the game and so add some black bars at the left and right side. For customization it supports 3 different themes that don't give you much option for personalization because they all look pretty much the same. The display brightness can be set to 4 different levels. What's good to adjust the display in light or dark surroundings. In order to save battery power, you can set a screen timeout between 5 and 60 seconds, or do it like me and just always enable the screen by setting the timeout to never. The last two entries are Clear and Restore and allow you to either clear the history of recently played games or restore the settings of the menu back to its defaults. Now let's take a look at the supported emulator systems of the Powkiddy A13. The first two entries are the arcade systems Capcom 1 and Final Burn Alpha, followed by the Nintendo systems Famicom, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color. It also includes the SEGA systems Game Gear and Mega Drive, Neo Geo, PlayStation 1 and the Super Nintendo. Let's take a sneak look into the available games for the arcade systems Capcom System 1 and Final Burn Alpha. Both come with big sets of ROMs, but unfortunately not all games are named correctly and many of them miss a box art image on the right hand side. But at least I found some awesome classics like Altered Beast and the Metal Slug series. Same with the Famicom and the other systems. Some ROM sets are really huge and include a lot of classics, but the missing box arts and wrong title names are a bit disappointing. But without further words about the systems, let's jump right into some gameplay and check out how it feels to play games on this machine, starting with 1942 on Capcom. You can use the select button at the beginning to add as many credits as you like. A press on the start button will bring you right into the game. And I have to say, it just feels awesome to play games like this with a full-size joystick and action buttons. The inputs are very precise and the feedback of the joystick and buttons are really good. Thanks to the big display size, it really gets very close to the feeling of an arcade machine while playing. We will later push this feeling even further by hooking this machine to a monitor. The clicking of the joystick and mechanical buttons is very loud and can be annoying to others in silent surroundings, but to be honest, that's the sound of arcade playing. It feels very unusual to play a Nintendo game like Mario Bros with this button layout, but I got quickly used to it and actually it's also very playable like this. Thanks to the powerful CPU and GPU, all the PlayStation 1 titles I tested so far, like Tekken 3 that you can see here, run absolutely smooth on this device. But honestly, the most gameplay fun comes up when playing arcade titles. Now let's test the HDMI out feature and hook the A13 up to a monitor. There's no extra option to be activated in the menu. You can just plug in the HDMI cable and the device will connect automatically to your monitor or TV. The HDMI out port supports a resolution of 720p, what is fair enough for all the game titles this console provides us. You might need to allow this mode in the settings of your monitor or TV in order to receive the signal correctly. The only downside I mentioned while playing on an external screen is some screen tearing in the Final Burn Alpha emulator, as you can see here. I haven't seen this problem in any other emulator or while playing on the device itself, so it seems like it's just a problem with FBA using HDMI out. As you can see here, some ROMs that come along with this device use Chinese language. I wasn't bothered too much by it, since I mainly play games without much text in it. But if you like to play adventures, you might run into the problem of reading the messages on the screen. Finally, let's try some multiplayer gaming on a big screen using external controllers. Therefore, I got a pair of 2.4 GHz controllers that work perfectly with this device. The receivers are full-size USB-A plugs, and so you can connect them right into the A13. After a few seconds of pairing, both controllers are connected and can be used for multiplayer games. I wish I could show you some real multiplayer gameplay on one of my favorite games on the Sega Genesis, Golden Axe. But unfortunately, I couldn't grab anyone to play with me. Well, you got the idea. Before we come to the end of this video, I'd like to show you some extra features of this device that might be interesting for you. Beside the gaming option, the Powkiddy A13 also allows playback of video and sound files. The big display with its high resolution allows playback of MP4 files, as you can see here. The biggest downside of the playback is the mono speaker in the device. The sound quality that comes with it is nothing you like to have when watching a movie. This could be fixed by connecting a headset or external stereo speakers to the 3.5mm audio jack on the back side of the device. Actually, I was very impressed by the screen resolution when I put some wallpaper on it. The images are displayed very clear, only the viewing angles of the display could be better. If you're interested in a deeper review of this device, to show you how to copy ROMs over to it, add videos, images and sound files, or customize the system icons in the menu, let me know in the comments below. Let's come to my conclusion about this device. So can the Powkiddy A13 give you some real arcade feeling? Definitely yes. Thanks to the big screen, joystick and buttons, it really feels like you're playing in front of an arcade machine. It could be a little heavier to give it a more solid stand when playing intensive action games. With the HDMI out option and the 2 USB ports, you can even hook it to a TV or monitor and make it a multiplayer game station. I really appreciate the full-size ports because like that you don't have to make use of any further adapters to connect your controllers or TV. It already comes with a ton of games, so you will definitely find something that will satisfy your game choice. It was a bit disappointing that some titles are messed up and most of the box arts are missing, but the option to access the SD card easily from the backside of the device to add further ROMs and box art to it is something I appreciated. I like the simple menu structure very much and was really glad to see that actually RetroArch is running in the background. Even though it's just a stripped version of RetroArch, it at least allows you to remap the buttons in a unified way for all emulators. The action buttons and joystick are just clipped into the frame and can be exchanged for modding easily, and the foldable layout makes it very transport friendly. For around $100, this is for sure not a cheap device, but there's nothing compared to it in a standalone device out there. So what are your thoughts about this device? Would you invest $100 for the arcade hall feeling, or do you think it's not worth it? However, if you look for a place to buy, I put you a link to the shop where I got mine from into the video description. Sometimes they have it on sale for around $85. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, let me know with your thumbs up and feel free to subscribe to my channel if you like to stay tuned with me. Have a nice day and see you in my next video. Bye!